Pennsylvania's state system of higher education. 14 universities, infinite opportunities.
Hello, I'm Frank Brogan, the Chancellor of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, and welcome to another installment of Infinite Opportunities. This is our opportunity to talk to you, the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, about our 14 wonderful state-owned universities and the remarkable accomplishments of the men and women who make up the administration, faculty, staff, and of course the great student bodies of each of those institutions. We have some very special guests with us today, and the topic that we're going to cover today are military-affiliated students. And we actually have in our studio today 3 such students. I'm going to introduce them now to you. First of all, to my left, Erin Murphy. Erin is a sophomore. She's majoring in human resource management, and she is at Shippensburg University. She is also a member of the National Guard. Welcome, Erin. Also with us today is Dr. Josh Batten. Josh is an associate professor and chairman of the Criminal Justice Administration Department at Mansfield University. He's also a product of one of our other state universities, and he is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Also to my right, Andrew Hamaker. Andrew is a senior in individualized studies major with a concentration in health and physical education. He is a veteran of the United States Navy, and he is currently enrolled at Edinburgh University. Welcome to you, Andrew.
Thank you.
To all of you. I think our viewers might be interested, before we talk about what you do and how you do it at your individual universities, to hear just a little bit about your military experience, because that's our topic of the day. So, Erin, could we start with you? Tell us a little bit about your experience as a member of the military.
So I'm in the Army National Guard. I'm out of Harrisburg. I'm at Harrisburg Military Post. I'm a human resource specialist in Headquarters and Support Company, Headquarters and Headquarters Battalion, 28th Infantry Division.
Fantastic. And Josh?
I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps from 2000 to 2008, and I served 2 tours in Iraq during 2003 during the invasion, and 2004 and 2005 during the subsequent occupying tour.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Andrew?
Hi, I did 9.5 years in the United States Navy. I was stationed on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I did 1 deployment from 2008 to 2009, and then I got out and I'm going to school at Edinburgh.
And we're delighted to have you, and thank you all for your service. We're going to now cut away for just a minute to talk a little bit about Indiana University and some of their on-the-ground experiences in terms of working with the veteran population at that institution.
In 2007, I had the privilege of meeting with one of our students, a veteran, Marine Corps, and when we sat together, he talked to me about his experience as a student and a veteran. And he said to me in very personal ways, he said, "Dr. Luckey, we need to do better for our students. We need to do so much better." And that began really a conversation at the university about the ways in which we are intentional in reaching out to our military-affiliated and veteran students and helping them succeed. Our student veterans said to us, we need a place where we can come together, feel the support from one another, and know that the university has committed to our success. And over the course of the last several years, what we've been able to do is bring together the financial aid components with the total student experience and have it presented right there at the Military and Veterans Resource Center.
One of the things that they miss when they make that transition from military life to civilian life is that camaraderie, that teamwork, that connection with fellow veterans. So this space provides them with a chance here to meet with fellow veterans, meet with people that are currently serving the military, allow them to build those connections, allow them to get involved with the Student Veterans Organization, allow them to get involved with the military fraternity, and sort of build those connections.
We try to foster an environment for veterans that's similar to that of what they had when they were in the military, so that they feel like, you know, they're somewhat at home and they can still keep going, whether it be with schoolwork or work or family or anything like that. We try to be a non-medicinal way to deal with whatever issues they may have. The Military and Veterans Resource Center has been an asset.
Since 2010, the population of active military reserve, National Guard, and veteran students has increased over 44%. In 2015, there were 2,600 students enrolled at each of our 14 state system universities. Each of the 14 universities likewise have a deep commitment to the success of our veteran students. And we needed to learn from one another. And through that, we formed a Veterans Advisory Network, which enabled us, 14 universities strong, to communicate through the state system and the Office of the Chancellor the kinds of things that we needed in order for our military affiliated and veteran students to be successful.
Invest in me.
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 I'll be your future public servant.
I'll be your future advertising executive.
I'll be your future accountant.
I will be your future motivational speaker.
I'll be your future lawmaker.
I will be your future teacher.
Invest in me. I'll be your future videographer.
Welcome back. Hope you found that informational. I know we did. I want to again welcome our guests. We've got three very special guests with us today. Aaron Murphy, who I introduced briefly earlier at Shippensburg University, Dr. Josh Batten, who is a member of the faculty at Mansfield University, and Andrew Hamaker, who is a student at Edinburgh, who also served in the United States Navy. Andrew, I'm going to start this segment with you. I'm going to assume, and talk to my presidents about this regularly, that there is a transition that people make from the military to a higher educational setting. You've experienced that. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about that transition and how it worked for you?
Sure. The transition, it is something that is on a lot of people's minds, and it is kind of a challenging product to look at, especially it's more the unknown. Coming from military service to a college, converting back to the civilian side, it's something that everybody's a little bit nervous about. I will say for me, especially with the school that I go to, Edinburgh, between the Veterans Success Center and the veterans on campus itself, we do a lot of activities and a lot of things together to help anybody new that just shows up to help the transition into the actual fact of becoming a civilian again. It actually goes a lot smoother than you would think. It takes a little bit to get used to, but it's actually really worth it in the end. It goes really well.
Now, that's interesting. And Dr. Batten, you are a head of the class man. You mustered out as a sergeant, and now you're standing in front of the class as a faculty member. That's a unique transition as well.
And there are students like him that I definitely want in the classroom. Definitely, I think a transition is important. You know, making sure the university has the services to offer, from financial aid, ensuring that they have the GI Bill straight, and you have your GI Bill service officer up to date, and making sure that everything's transitional easy. In addition to our curriculum, military members are used to having everything set and dictated to them. So by a university coming out and saying that we have these particular services, this is the exact process that you go through transitioning in or out, if you're deployed, for example, you want to make sure that these particular processes are done correctly, and they can follow them. They just have to make sure that they're laid out correctly, and they know about them.
Well, I know the students at Mansfield must appreciate, as veterans, having one of their own stand in front of that classroom and also demonstrate as a role model the fact that you can make that transition from the military to higher education.
Sure.
But I agree, and I think all of us do, that the more support that there is in existence at the institution is very helpful. And Aaron, you are still an active member of the military as a member of the Guard. So you not only go to school, you actually continue in the military. Tell us about that transition.
I thought the transition was going to be a lot harder than it was, just balancing schoolwork and having drill one weekend a month, but it hasn't been too bad. Also being able to have everyone in our Veterans Resource Center who, there are Guard and Reserve members who go there as well that you can kind of relate to and talk to about it, along with veterans who have served 20+ years, retired, and having the resources there. I was able to, I'm on our orientation team at Shippensburg, so this summer I was able to take all the incoming veteran students and show them the different resources on campus. So I think that's really nice to be able to have, so that they know kind of where they can go, what things need to be done, like visiting our certifying officials in our Dean of Students office and in our student accounts. So it's definitely been a lot easier than I was expecting, but it's nice to be able to have the various resources that we do.
And you've brought together actually your major, which is human resource management, together with your experience in the Guard, correct?
Yes, yep. I'm a human resource specialist in the Guard, and I switched my major to human resource management at SHIP, and it's exciting to be able to have that parallel in my civilian and military career.
Well, it's interesting that you are enrolled at Shippensburg and have such a great love of the institution, because we're going to break away and go to a package at Shippensburg University, and we're going to learn a little bit more about how Shippensburg works on the very important issue of making sure our veterans feel at home and can succeed at Shippensburg University.
Coming to Shippensburg, even for myself as a veteran, one of the hallmarks of being here at the SHIP is the part that we feel that we are a SHIP family. And throughout my career, I have felt that to be true. So the fact that from faculty, administration, staff, everybody on board is here for the success of the student.
We do our very best to reach out to students during the orientation process and get to know them so they have a point of contact, so they get to meet the advisors and some of the members of the Student Veterans Association. We do connect them with services and representatives in the financial aid office, the student accounts office, the Dean of Students office, who is their certifying official that helps them get their financial benefits.
There are veterans here amongst the staff and specifically the professors that also provide another layer of benefit, which is they understand you, they know where you're coming from, they understand the benefit that you offer to a classroom in the classroom setting, and they tap into that.
What the student veteran brings is a sense of purpose and a commitment to a goal larger than themselves, a commitment to an issue larger than themselves, and that's, of course, the love of country and duty and service. And so just by being in the classroom, I think elevates the entire level of discourse for the other students who are not veterans.
Transitioning to civilian life and then college subsequently is pretty daunting. The SVA is a conduit that provides the veteran with an avenue to get through any tough spots or rough patches in going through college and the civilian life.
The Veterans Resource Center offers a space for student veterans to relax, to study, to eat, to store their food during the day. We have desktops, we have laptop stations. There's a lot of collaboration that goes on in the Veterans Resource Center. They get to meet other student veterans.
The student veterans have helped a lot with my transition. When I came last semester, I didn't really know anybody on campus. I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect, didn't have anybody to go to, and just being able to come to the Veterans Resource Center, come to meetings for SVA has really helped me to make more friends and just have some people to talk to who kind of understand what I'm going through.
One of the things that and I'm sure other veterans experienced when we transitioned to civilian life, is we missed that sense of family that we had in the military. You are part of a unit, and so here at the SHIP, we really do work hard to recreate that. At SHIP, we're going to take care of them as they have taken care of us, and it's a commitment that we will never waver.
In 1934, 22 people started a financial cooperative. PSECU was born out of necessity, out of a need to provide service to people who needed it most. Since 2000, we've been forging strong relationships with educational partners across Pennsylvania, making strategic investments that benefit all members, including students, faculty, and staff, and alumni at over 20 university and college locations across Pennsylvania. Learn more about what we offer students at psecu.com/students.
Welcome back. And again with us today, Aaron Murphy, Josh Batten, Andrew Hamaker. Welcome to all of you again, and thanks for being on our show, Infinite Opportunities, and sharing some of your experiences as it relates to not only being members of the military, but also students, and in your case, a good doctor, being a member of the faculty. So I wanted to talk a little bit in this segment about your logistical move from military to university experience. I think a common misconception is that when veterans walk onto a university campus, they start at zero. More often than not, that's not true. More often than not, they bring experience and credits with them when they come. So, Dr. Batten, you want to tell us a little bit about your experience moving from the Marine Corps to student and how that logistically managed itself?
Sure. You know, at Edinboro University, and every university is unique in that they dictate what credits are going to be accepted. But in the military, we have training, we have education, we sit in the classroom a lot, and a lot of folks don't really understand that. And you're able to transfer those credits over. That being said, I was able to transfer over 9 to 12 credits in terms of health and some other things into my general education model. And then also I was able to apply for life experience credits, 12 credits within criminal justice at Edinboro University, which basically replaced my internship. And I'd say 2 tours in Iraq was my internship. I kind of make jokes about. But I was able to apply for that. And Dr. Furster was the chair at the time, who was also a former Marine, and we worked it out and we were able to do that. So yeah, oftentimes we have students who come in, military members, and don't think or know that they can actually transfer in credits, and it's something that's really important that they need to know, and that's time, money, et cetera, that they really need to think about.
Well, we're very proud of our 14 universities, especially on this issue, because we like to believe we're very military friendly. That makes a big difference when people are trying to transition in. Aaron, what's your experience in that regard?
I was able to bring in 4 exercise science credits from my basic training, so that's a free elective that I don't have to take now. I was able to kind of use what I learned at my job training for human resources to kind of use that in my major courses as well now. And someone who really helped me with that was Dean Bob Smith. He's in our Dean of Students office. He was able to help us transfer credits, what we need to do with transcripts, and working out our GI Bill and stuff like that.
It's wonderful to identify the right people with the right experience to help you through that. Andrew, how was your experience coming from the Navy?
Mine was actually very good. I had 2 people who helped me out a lot. One, Andrew Matt from our Veteran Success Center, and Lieutenant Colonel Mark Beckich from the ROTC unit at Edinboro. With me, because of my past in the Navy being a mechanic, I worked on nuclear reactors. So I ended up getting a lot of physics credits and a lot of engineering credits. And then I also served as a recruiter, so I got a lot of public speaking and communication credits at the same time. So Edinboro actually helped me out. I ended up getting 57 credits, which is a lot. So it just about an associate's degree for all the time and the different things that I did while I was in the Navy. So.
Yeah, I regularly marvel at the number of credits that some veterans are able to bring with them. For our viewers, a standard baccalaureate degree is typically about 120 credit hours, and we do find veterans who can bring in 50, 60, 70 credits depending on what their deployments were, what their time in the service happened to be, and not lose those, but be able to transfer them and stay right on course for ultimately a baccalaureate degree. So I'm glad to hear you all say that. It's a very important part of making sure that we are military friendly and can help people through that transition process, which sometimes can be a bit challenging for people who have done their time in the military and are now looking to tack on that very important degree to help navigate the rest of their life. We're going to cut away and we're going to visit another university, one of our great universities, Bloomsburg. University, and we're going to give the folks at Bloomsburg an opportunity to talk to us a little bit about how they work with students of the military, and also point out as we continue these conversations that it's not a one-way street. Yes, we'd like to believe we bring something to the people coming from the military, but I'm not sure still today that the veterans understand what they bring to us when they join our student population, or Dr. Batten, as is in your case, our faculty. That experience and that passion, that knowledge is really something that very, very special in its impact on our university. So let's go to Bloomsburg and see how Bloomsburg is working with veterans there.
I joined the Army National Guard before I came to college. I was continuously pulled away for duty. I've taken leave several times while in school, but Bloomsburg was always here to help me out, so I made it.
And enlisted men and women who choose a university because they believe it's military friendly. It's not just the education that we're providing these students, it's the support system.
So the Office of Military and Veterans Resources, we're essentially the go-to members for anything and everything that they need. When I have my initial in-processing with my students, one of the things that we say is, you know, if you're driving to class and you get a flat tire on the way here, give us a call. We'll call your professors. I've literally done that for students. Anything that they need, any questions they have, we basically want to help them integrate into higher ed, help them to transition from the military or from whatever training or whatever they were doing with the military to higher ed.
We speak in acronyms in the military, and when I pick up the phone and I'm speaking to a military student, and as soon as I start speaking the language, they feel immediately connected to me, which means they feel immediately connected to the university.
It is very important that we speak the same language. You know, I've been in the military, I've been a college student while being in class, I've been deployed, I've had that taste of active duty. Pretty much everything that the majority of our military students are coming here with, I have some type of exposure to.
We needed as much flexibility involved in our coursework as possible, so that if somebody is called to duty in the middle of the semester, we can accommodate them.
We've adapted our curriculum to incorporate military deployments, military experience overseas. That way it counts towards their general education.
If a guardsman is called to duty for 6 months, either we can handle that guardsman's coursework online using internet capabilities, or we can hold their course open, and when they return, we can accommodate them then.
People are coming here because they were like, oh, I hear that it's military friendly, or my friend in the unit goes to your university, and we hear all sorts of great things about what's going on.
When they see military friendly, that's the first place that they're going to want to reach out to. And it's not just having the title, it's actually being military friendly, providing services that will truly help those students thrive once they're at the university.
Our vision is to have this university be the most military friendly university in the Commonwealth.
In this last segment, I've asked our panelists if they would indulge not just me, but all of us with a bit of advice. We believe that in our viewing audience in this segment, there might be people out there who have mustered out, or people, as Aaron is the case, who are currently active duty, reserve, guard, who are thinking about continuing on in the world of higher education. And so I've asked our panelists if they would please give us a little of their advice, hard-earned, to pass on to others about what that experience is like, and perhaps advise people as to what they might want to consider as they make that jump. So, Andrew, why don't we start with you?
My advice, and it also came from my experience, is to do not wait until you're actually out of the military. If it's something that you want to do, start looking while you're still in. Getting ready to actually transfer over and turn into a civilian and a full-time student. Your unit will actually help you talking to colleges. Make sure you get in touch with the Veterans Success Center. Get everything worked out. Have your transcripts actually reviewed. Get the credits that you deserve, so you're not just walking in and just showing up on the first day and have no idea what you're doing. As in the military, we always do our background research. We know what we're getting ourselves into, and it's something that you still have to do with college. It is definitely something that everybody can do and should do. And it's very option for us. It's very option friendly. Check out different schools. take a look at everything, and there will be people to help you. You just have to ask for the help.
And there's actually a list nationally of what are called military-friendly schools, not just because they're nice people, they are, but also because they have in place support services and networks to help the military members who want to join us make that transition easier on themselves and on their family. Erin, how about you? You're still at it in the Guard. Advice?
I would definitely make sure you get your transcripts reviewed, get the credits that you deserve. Also do your research, just know what services are available to you, what benefits you can get. Make sure you get the money that you earned in your GI Bill, and for us in the Guard, our EAP. Just make sure you know what's available to you and take advantage of it.
Well, it's great advice, and that GI Bill has changed this country in ways that most people will never imagine following World War II. It's been a miraculous evolution to help people go back and retool and reinvent themselves. So thank you for that. And good doctor, how about you? You've got different perspectives on this thing. So
well, service members inherently want to serve, let's be honest. So I would say get involved, but first find a mentor, and they can work you through all of these different things that they've been talking about. But always leave a place better than what when you came into it. And I believe that, and really with anything. And I came from the military. Student needs to find a good mentor to show the ropes, whether that's a student, a faculty member, a staff member, whatever it might be. And then from there, once you get your feet under you, do something about it. So.
Well, I have to tell you, and I said this to our panelists earlier, we often think about what we do for veterans. Those of us who are in higher ed, who've experienced this, know it's an equal journey. What veterans bring to our campuses, to our classrooms, to our laboratories, whether as students or as in the doctor's case as members of faculty, is extraordinary. Our universities have ample numbers of veterans who do teach, who are staff members, who are administrators, and they bring that experience to the table and help to make our universities very special places as they join the company that they find there. First of all, to each of you, thank you for your service in the past and ongoing in Erin's case, but for what you have done to continue to make our country what it is, we say thank you. And I personally, as Chancellor, am so delighted to hear of your experiences. I hope and I want to believe that those are truly symbolic of veterans all over our state university system. To our viewers, thank you for joining us very much for this segment of Infinite Opportunities. And I know that you too appreciate the good work of our veterans, and you need to take comfort in the knowledge that our state university system is doing everything that we can to give these folks an opportunity to not only transition, but to continue to make the Commonwealth the great state that it is. Thank you for joining us.
Come back next week to learn more of the infinite opportunities at the state system's 14 universities, or visit us online